Good morning, everybody. This is Vince with Listings to Leads. Can you let me know, can you hear me? And can you see my screen? There's a little kind of a comments button somewhere. If you just drop a note in there, I'll know that we're good to go. And while we're waiting for that, also in the comments section, would you let me know if you're new to us? Oh, hi, Lisa. How are you? Let me know how long you've been with us. Especially if you're new, we want to know how long you've been here. Are you getting your arms around this? And how did you find out about us? If you can put that in the chat panel, I'd appreciate it. So let's give it a couple more minutes because people are still coming in to log in. And this is our onboarding call. So we'll talk about what you should do as a new client, what you should know. Lisa, do you have your team there? I know we were talking about that last week. Oh, okay. We can talk about those questions later today. I got a lot of calls booked here today. But let's get started. Oh, cool. Good. Hi, Johnny from Atlanta. I know we saw your email just last week. You sent something to us. So I'm glad you're here. I know you're new to us. So let's talk about what we need to do. If you're new to us, great. If you've just started working with us, glad you're here. If you're thinking about jumping on, you can sign up at the bottom of our page. For agents, it's $95 a month. It's month to month. There's no startup. There's no sign-up fee. Okay. We actually have some videos here. So I want to give you like the 4 things that I think everybody should be thinking about right now, especially if you're working with us. One is use expireds to get more listings. Okay. And expireds are not huge all over the country, but for many parts of the country, they are huge. And those are, I'm going to show you why. It's just an awesome place to get more listings, right? Also, open house marketing. And it's funny because a lot of agents have been in the industry for a long time. They don't want to hold open houses. They're tired of them. They're not really worth the time. Open houses for our clients have been the leading source of getting more listings. Okay. So if you want more listings, you want to hold open houses. And I'll show you why in just a few minutes, why that's the case. And then also we have a very powerful listing presentation. Okay. And I'm going to show that to you. And you may have your own, but I can tell you, I have clients from coast to coast, from the far north in Washington, in Vermont, down to Miami, and all the way down across California, are closing listings with our listing presentation every week, probably 5 days a week. You want to know where that is. You also want to know how to customize that. Okay. And then lastly, that I'll cover is our Facebook ad software. So we actually have Facebook ad software built in the platform. We make it very easy. You can get leads, name, email, and phone number. Super cheap way of getting buyer leads, and definitely a good way to build your brand. And also a cheap way of getting seller leads. Okay. So I see people coming on. If you have questions, just put them in the comments panel. So if we're looking at our website for the first time, there are 3 calls up here, and all 3 of these calls are different agents in different parts of the country working expireds. And I think so we actually do expired workshops. And I want to tell you about these 3 people. They are all hitting expireds a different way. Okay. They're using our tools. So let me show you this. If you can see me on the screen, I got an expired booklet, how to sell your expired home. And they're all leveraging this. This is very helpful to have in your hands. We have a different version as well. It's just about how to sell your home. It's basically our listing presentation, right? I mentioned a few minutes ago that listing presentations are very important to our clients right now. And there's a few different ways of using it. That's one way, having it printed, having it ready. This gentleman on the bottom right door knocked with this listing presentation for 3 days and added 2.7 million to his pipeline in 3 days of door knocking expireds. Okay. This young lady on the bottom left creates a custom listing presentation, which you can do, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a few minutes. And she picks up 4 listings in 6 weeks. That was recorded in November of last year, right? Just a few months ago. And in that call, she says, I'm shooting for 20 by March. And pretty confident she's going to get there real quick. So I'm excited because I know we're going to reach out to her maybe around April and get an update on what's going on. She's creating listing presentations on the fly in your account. I'll show you how to do that, and texting them to people. And this gentleman up here he did a call with us in November. This that you're looking at is actually from January 14th, 2 weeks old. But in our call that we did together in November, he was super excited because he was saying, hey, I'm calling people. I'm leaving a voicemail. They're calling me back. I'm calling expired. And then I just asked to meet them. Just want to give them this, which is the expired marketing. Okay. So that's 3 different ways of getting it, and they are all crushing it. This video that you're looking at here, which is 14 days old, he sent that close 2.2 million in new listings in January. In November and December, he had already closed 3 listings by approaching buyers. And I actually have a video of that. If you want that, you can email me. I'll send you my email right now. And just put in the words expireds. My email is vince@listingstoleads.com. You can reach out to me as well. I'm sending it to everybody right now. You can also reach out to me if you need a team account. We have discounted team accounts and brokerage accounts. So on the top, the email that I have about expired, in November, this guy here, John, was saying, this is so great. I'm going to get 10 of these pamphlets in my market every week. That's what he said to us in November. So by the middle of January, I just added 2.2 million in listings. So he's already harvesting what he planted last fall. So it doesn't take you that long. Now, I will copy it. Not everybody has listings. Not every market has expireds happening like this, but some of you do, and you definitely want to take advantage. Now, we also have Facebook ad software. I said that at the beginning, and you can get buyer leads and seller leads. And these 2 examples here, this lady runs a $35 open house ad, gets 3 buyers and 1 listing. This gentleman here owns a LPT office in Texas. He runs a sold ad, shows you how he does it on Facebook, gets one $4 lead, turned it into a $400,000 sale and a $450,000 purchase. Well, not every lead works like that. This guy generated a lot of leads, but I'll tell you, I'm not sure if it's in this video. On the home that you can see in the background there, he had run an ad there and he generated 114 buyer leads, 114 from one home. So he ran multiple ads. He put 3 of those leads into the home. They didn't obviously all buy the same home, converted those. And then down at the bottom, the last 2, automated listing marketing. We're going to look at that. We create a lot of tools. Just if you have a listing and you're just trying to get it out there, get it on social media, get email, get print tools, and get leads with your listings, whether they're buyer leads and seller leads. That's the basics. That's how we started this whole company. And over here on the right, it's powerful listing presentation. And I mentioned that when we got started here. I'll tell you a story about this woman here, Terry. She's been in the Coast Guard for 20 years. Okay. She retired about a year ago and moved down to Florida. She was living up in Alaska. Then that first year she gets her license, her daughter has a baby in Miami. And so she doesn't even bother working. She's just helping her daughter. About a month ago, she decided to move up to middle Florida, close to Orlando, and start working. She got one neighbor to talk about wanting to sell her home. And that's when she signed up with us. Right. And she said, yeah. And I had a call with her like that day. I said, hey, she said, yeah. I said, I see you're new to us. How can I help you? And she says, yeah, I have a listing appointment and I want to use your listing presentation. So we created that custom listing presentation. She went out the very next day with working with us. She hadn't even paid us because she had a 2-week free trial. And you'll see from that call right there that they said, where do I sign? Where do I sign? Not what is your commission or anything like that. Or we're not talking, just where do I sign? And that really speaks to our listing presentation. Okay. So all of the things I just described and a lot more are inside every account. And when you sign up, we're going to get your headshot. We're going to get your branding. We're going to get your social media connected, your ad account connected, and you can do all these things, a lot more. All right. So before we go further into it, I want to remind you what we've been talking, right? I know that realtors are distracted like every 60 seconds. So, this is what you need to know. This is our listing presentation. This is one of the versions. Okay. It's a flip book listing presentation. It's an online magazine. This is automatically generated for all of you. Your headshot and your logo is in every page. Your colors are your colors, right? That's just what we do. Okay. Now, for one homeowner, notice that this is prepared for Jane Doe at her address. And the photographs inside the same listing presentation are just the photographs of that home. Okay. So when you see people closing listings and our clients, like this lady down here, she created a custom listing presentation for one homeowner. This young lady here gets 4 listings in 6 weeks. She does that for every expired listing she goes at. Compelling story. Okay. And it's frankly, it's unbeatable. I haven't heard of a better one. And that's why our clients are using our listing presentation whenever they have a chance. Now, we'll get more into that, right? But remember that I said open houses. So let me repeat myself. Listing presentations, expired marketing, open houses, and Facebook ads are what you got to walk away with today. All right. And what we're looking at here is a piece of paper that's called the Nearby Homeowner Letter. You can see, I don't know if you can see it. I've got an open house happening on Saturday from 1 to 4. So if you're having an open house, you want to print out 50 of these or 100 of these, and you want to walk them in the neighborhood to tell everybody, hey, come by on Saturday, come see this house. If you're thinking of selling, you can get your free home value right here, right? Just take this piece of paper to your own computer and go get your free home value. And yeah, we create this landing page for you too, automatically. You may have seen this in the past. This is some things like this have been floating around from companies for at least 10 years, right? And if you go run an ad on Facebook or on Google, you can do that. But what is the question of lead quality, right? That's a big question. If you print this and you give it to people who own a home in your neighborhood, it's going to be a lot higher quality lead than running an ad on Facebook. All right. Because they got to take this piece of paper to their own computer, type in that web address, type in their address and their email address to get a home value. When somebody does that, you need to pay attention to that lead. Okay. This piece of paper is why our clients love hosting open houses, because they're inviting the neighbors to come in. So if you're trying to multiply your listings, you got to get into our open house marketing. I'm going to show you more about that in a few minutes, but we're just scatting. This is another reason why. So before we get under the hood, I want to remind you or let you know, let's go over here. If you go to the marketing calendar up top on inside your account, and let me know, everybody, if you don't mind, if you can hear me properly, because sometimes my internet kind of backs up. I have too many things open. On this marketing calendar page is a tab here that says resources. And since you're new, you need to know about this page. This is where you can follow us on YouTube. This is where you can sign up for our live classes. If you're not if you're not a client, go to leadgenwebinars.com and it will bring you to this link. And we're doing live training practically every day of the week. I'm going to click on this right now because I think one thing that we did over the weekend is we added our expired workshops to this, right? So today, Scott had at 7 a.m. an expired workshop. And right now we're doing this class, right? Onboarding for all of our clients, right? And on next week, we'll have another expired, or actually that's this week's, but Wednesday, this is a longer class. We're doing expireds at 7 a.m. Pacific, unpack and understand and how to do expireds, right? On Tuesday, how to market your listings. And that will go into great detail of how to market your listings to get more buyers and sellers. And then on Wednesday at 7 a.m., that's our workshop. And at Wednesday, we're going to have that's already like one of the things you got to do, another workshop for expireds. And then on Thursday, our listing presentation, right? So this is actually a big week to remind you of the things that I'm going to be talking about today, right? So you can find this at leadgenwebinars.com. And I highly recommend that you do that. But if your calendar doesn't work with our calendar, You see this YouTube channel right here? Going to be right on this page. So I'm going to copy this and send this all to you right now. Okay. Hello, Jose. And honestly, this is like, from my perspective, the number one resource that you've got, because I know you're all busy, you got families, all that. So guys, when do you have time to understand what this platform can do? So I just sent you a link to this page, and I want to point out what I think you definitely need to look at. Top tools for more listing 4 to 5 days ago. Scott's doing a bunch of classes here. So whatever topic you're thinking that you want, new construction, etc., they're all here. Do you want to work FISBOs? Watch this class, right? But remember on the homepage, I was showing you some videos and I said, these are all really good. I want to remind you, I want to show you where they live here. Because on our homepage, they are short, right? They're like a, right? We don't want them to watch a big long video because they're just gonna fall asleep. But here, this is where you can really learn about it. And I'm gonna scroll down because this is all a few months ago. Some of those videos on our homepage are from November. And I mentioned door knocks up right here, Scott Murray, door knocks for 3 days and adds 2.7 million to his pipeline. You probably want to watch that if you want to be door knocking. This is the lady from also at our website. And she says right here, before she could even ask, the homeowner says, where do I sign? Who closes for right on here? And it says, stop ignoring expireds. Now, this was in November. And I want to remind you, he's telling us like, this is the voicemail. I leave this voicemail with people and they call me back. They don't all call him back. And I just ask, can I shake your hand? And can I give you my booklet about how to sell an expired home? That's what he does. And if you want to work expires, you should be watching all 3 of those. Okay. That's our YouTube. You all have a link to this right now. We also do live training. So if you go to the live page, and it's weird, this should actually be showing there. Oh, it is there. This is where you can sign up for the live classes. This little red circle here means we're live, and we are live on YouTube. Okay. So Augustina is sending me your email. That's cool. I'm not sending email from this platform. So if you need to send me an email, you do that at Vince@Listings2Lead. And then lastly, on the calendar is our mastermind group. Okay. We have actually 2 mastermind groups. They're both private on Facebook. And this is where we're talking about some of the new technology we're doing. It's also where our clients are talking about what they're doing, right? So they might ask questions. They might say, hey, this is what I'm doing. But if you want to learn more about what we're doing, there's really great content here. Actually, Scott just put this up and he's showing you how to use our PDF guides to increase the SEO for your business, right? And that's pretty important. That means SEO is, can people actually find you on the internet? And then lastly, we've got our own expired group. This is you can ask support for this and you will see agents who are working our listing presentation and working expireds kind of sharing and I'm going to show this to you right here. Let's listen. See, I want to tell you something very briefly about Gwen signed up in September. And we had a call. We had a couple calls. She was asking me questions. I was saying, hey, this is what you got to do. I said, you got to get an expireds if you want more listings. And she was like, okay. And I watched her in the group and asking questions online. And I could tell she was struggling for at least almost 2 months. She was not getting it. Right. And I'd spoken to her. And she told me, she was like, I'm not really that tech savvy. And I said, I understand. You'll get it. Take the classes. She would get in there. She'd ask Scott questions. And that video that you saw that she in our group was from this month, January. She figured it out and she's got more confidence. She knows what to do with our tools to go out there and close business. So take your time and get into the platform. Okay. So let's talk about one of the first things that we need to talk about, which I've already been yammering on for 20 minutes. How do you set up your account, right? What if you're brand new to us and you go sign up on our platform and you put your name and email and you throw in your credit card and you get 2 free weeks? What happens then? We drop you this page and you got to put your headshot and you should add your phone number. And if you need license and states or license number added, if you don't, just skip it. Then the next page is where's your logo and what color scheme do you want, right? We have the palettes from a lot of the big brands in the country, so you can choose it there. And if you're not part of one of those, you can customize this for your own local independent brokerage. And again, if you need these things, like some people need a title or they need the address of their office, right? You can add it. If you don't, just skip it. Now, here's where things get really interesting. We ask you to connect to your social media accounts so we can auto post your listings to these socials. When we do that, and we'll see it in a few minutes, we actually put landing pages behind it. We put photographs there, some text, and so that you don't have to burn a lot of time. We're doing it automatically, right? The next page tells you how to connect your Facebook ad account. And this is, as I mentioned at the beginning, an important part of our platform. You want to be running ads on homes that are just listed, open houses, and at least sold. You can run more ads, but those are going to get you buyer leads and seller leads with name, email, and phone number. I'll show you why in a moment. And then we do this other cool thing, which is connect social media, connect your accounts, and we're putting social media on these throughout the year automatically for you. There's a lot of topics. They're all colorful and like great photographs. So it's really meant to help you build your followings on social media, right? All kinds of stuff. I do want to point this out. If you are using Google Business, this constant refresh of content is increasing your SEO. So if somebody goes to do any real estate related search in your local area and you're using our content like this, you're very likely going to end up on page one. Okay. And that doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't even happen in like a couple of weeks. It takes a few months. But that constant refresh of these topics, because underneath every one of these topics are multiple articles, that's going to increase the SEO of Google Business. Okay. So you keep going. And then we say, what's your email address that's in your MLS so that we can start auto sweeping your listing. Drop it there. You keep moving. And then what's your CRM? We have APIs from many of the leading real estate CRMs. So connect yours here. And if you don't have a CRM, don't worry about it. Just check this box here because we have actually our own drip campaigns that frankly work better than all those top CRMs I just showed you. And the reason why I say that is that we see the metrics. We see that they get in the inbox. We see the open rate is higher than many of our clients' open rate. And I know from talking to realtors that it actually closes appointments. And that's really what a drip campaign in a CRM is all about. We got a lot of ways to capture leads here, but if you're not talking to them, what good is generating leads, right? Now here, add reviews. We can import your reviews from Zillow, from Google, from Testimonial Tree. You can even manually add them from Facebook, or you might have them somewhere else on your website. You can just put them in. We actually have a really cool tool to help you take those reviews and get more business from. Okay. Do you recommend Facebook business or personal accounts? Good question, Augustina. I'm sure none of you have ever read the terms of service for Facebook. Who does, right? Even I had very quickly that it is against Facebook rules to post your business, any kind of business, real estate, whatever business you got going. It's against the rules to post anything about that on your personal page. So that is the long answer to that. We recommend you post this to your business page. And when you connect on our account, we will never post anything to your personal page because that would make us liable for you getting your account shut down. And we wouldn't want to see that happen. Okay. Beth, you couldn't hear me. Let me repeat this. It is against the Facebook terms of service for you to put business on your personal page. So we will only post to your business pages. You can actually post to multiple business pages. You might have a few. We can post to all of those. Okay. Beth, did you hear that? And Augustina, did you hear that? And I hope everybody heard that. I'll tell you, Facebook, they have I don't know if it's the worst. It might be second to the worst company I know when it comes to support. When you get kicked out of your account or when your account gets hacked, God bless you, because Facebook is going to be so challenging to help you. And that's just the case. So I don't want to see any of our clients, first of all, get hacked, and secondly, get shut down. And to speak of all that, let me just say something. This is not about us. It's just about the internet, but it definitely happens with Facebook because a lot of times many realtors don't have much experience with Facebook. They have even less experience with running ads. And then they join us and they're like, okay, I'm going to run ads. And then you start getting these emails. You get them in your email, you get them in your text, you even get them in the chat section of Facebook. And the message is something like this: hey, you have made a mistake. You've done something wrong, and we're going to shut your account down in 2 days, 48 hours, unless you fix this. Log in here to fix it. You're going to get that message, and you're going to go, oh my God. And you log in and somebody just took your password and login, they lock you out of your account and start running ads on your credit card, and you're locked out. And Facebook is close to useless in helping you. Okay. That if you see anything like that from Facebook or frankly any other company, ignore that. That's called a phishing scam email. All right. So that's the basics, everybody. Right. At a high level, what we do, we've got resources to help you learn it. Let's just repeat what we need to focus on now. What about using personal page to post listings in marketplace? Yeah, that one, Beth, I don't know, but I do know that agents do that. And I think the marketplace is different from, it's like person to person, right? So if I want to sell my car, I can, and I'm not a car salesman, right? So I think Facebook Marketplace is different. What I'm saying is when you've got like your personal page and you're putting stuff in here, but let me show you something. So this is our business page, right? And this is my personal page over here, right? So we'll give it a second. It's probably going to start chewing up my bandwidth here. It has the things I do, where I am with my friends, what am I eating, what is my dog doing, and what am I doing in my garden, right? That kind of my personal page. But then I do these calls and I put business stuff on here, right? And when that happens, I make sure, like this is a client review page, I make sure and get this off, right? This is an open house post. Remember how there's reasons why open houses are so important to our clients. It says, hey, we're having an open house, and Pete Jones at Peter Jones Realty is doing a lot of marketing. Expect a great turnout, right? This is part of open house marketing, right? Now, I'm going to be deleting this. This is just what I do when I'm in demos, right? This is the client review page. Remember when I said in the sign up, I can actually sweep in your reviews here, and we're going to give you a tool, and you can go share it on Facebook, and you can tag your clients so that all their friends and family and colleagues on Facebook know that you are their realtor. They're going to see this. And when they click on it, we actually created a website to showcase all your reviews, all of your listings, all of your landing pages with us, and all our PDF guides, right? This page is all about lead capture for you and Facebook, right? There's a lot of content here. Every one of these blue buttons is designed to capture a lead. Do you own a home? Yes? No? What's your contact? Download for free, please, after the call. Because I know that it is against the terms of service to be doing that, right? So Beth is right. When you're posting on Facebook Marketplace, that you as a person sharing something there. And I've heard about that, and definitely nothing wrong with that. Over here, back in the system, let's get into some of those things, that the four main things. Okay. And I'm going to go over to listings, and when you hopefully auto sweep your listings in. Okay. And we create a bunch of tools. And because you connected yourself social media accounts, we're going to create a virtual tour and we're going to post it up on YouTube. Okay. We're going to create a single property website and the listing landing pages, Google, right? So you don't have to waste time doing that. We're doing it all automatically, right? And I've got an open house. And you remember I was saying like open house marketing is a big deal. So let's click on market listing for this open house, right? And here, there are a couple of things that we want to know and that we want to do. First of all, if you want to do open house marketing, I have an email that covers this. It covers the 5 things that I'm about to show you right now. You're going to forget what I'm saying by the time I finish saying it. So if you need that, email me at Vincent Listings Leads. I'll give it to you. So the first thing you should do is click on Facebook and run an ad. So I just clicked on Facebook and you can see the wheel spinning. That's actually Facebook's ad software getting in here. And the great thing about our system is we only work with realtors and loan officers and title people, but it's all about real estate and phone number. There are a lot of ways to run an ad in Facebook, and you may have access to those ways. You could do it on your own. You might be using some CRM like KB Core or Ylopo, but I don't really know what they're doing. I know it costs a lot when you do it over there, but I don't really know what the objective is. Okay. And if you do it inside of Facebook, there are many objectives and many options. And most of those options are terrific at taking your money and not getting you leads. Okay. But here we have one objective: get you leads, especially here. So let me explain to you what I'm talking about. You don't have to do this when you create it. If you wanted to create an ad, you could just click that button and bam, it would happen. It would be that easy. Now, since it's an open house, I might suggest, hey, go click in this box and say open from 1 to 3 on Saturday, or whatever. Like, you could do that. It's wise to run an ad. If you've got an open house happening this weekend, run the ad on Monday or Tuesday to give this thing time to be seen. Because an ad like this, we would tell you, put $50 on it. It expires in the open house. You expire when the open house ends. That's going to be seen by, I don't know, 1 to 2,000 people, right? Just for that one open house. Now, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to click here to show you why you want to do this. I'm clicking advanced options and I'm going to click create form. You do not need to do this, but you should actually get involved here because we have what's called form, right? And you see this full name, email, and phone number. When somebody clicks on the ad, this pops up, but it's auto-populated. Nobody is typing in their name, phone number, and email. It's actually pulled from their profile and plopped right there on that form. This is highly accurate data, right? And as they go through it, there are some questions over here. What's your time frame to buy? Or would you like the ultimate guide? Or do you have a home to sell? You can add these questions. These are all down here, right? I actually don't recommend having more than 2 extra questions, right? Do I have a home to sell? Something like that. And another good question is, what's your maximum monthly payment, right? You can choose these questions, right? And then the second page on this form will be all their information preloaded. Then there's got your information and we emailed it to you already. They can now click this and go drop on the single property website and see this page, see everything about that home, right? The point that I want to point out is these ads get name, email, and phone number automatically pulled. And what you should know is they actually, when they saw that blue button, it said, would you like this information? And there's one answer, submit my info. And when they click that, they're pushing their contact information to you, goes through us and goes to you. Okay. We do store your leads over here in the leads tab, but I can't click in there because it messes up our video. Here's the thing. You might think, I'm going to call them right now. I got their phone number. They're looking at my ad. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to call them. And they will still tell you, I don't know what you're talking about. Right. And that's because they don't know who you are. And unfortunately, there are way too many scams in this world today. And they're just going to do anything to get you off the phone. Right. So we definitely recommend texting them first. Text them a few times. Hey, I see you're looking at my home in Danville. Do you live here? Are you moving here? Wait for an answer. Don't write a big paragraph and dump it on somebody's phone. Wait 30 minutes. Hey, if they answer, don't answer, doesn't matter. Hey, this is a 3-2. Is that what you're looking for? Do you need more bedrooms? Wait for an answer. No answer. Hey, by the way, that's 500 grand. Is that in your market? Give them a few questions like that and then call them. You're going to have more likelihood of just talking to them, right? If you go to our leads tab down here on the left, which I can't click on, we actually have our own AI text follow-up. It's like true AI software that will automatically text those people, right? And whether they're buyer leads or seller leads. And right now it's converting 14% of our leads with phone numbers to phone calls. And we do it automatically, and you can watch it on the leads tab, right? And if you are thinking you're going to be running 2 ads a week or 3 or 4 or 5, you're going to have a lot of leads with phone numbers. And if you try to be texting all those people, you're going to find that is way too cumbersome. So turn on our AI text. It's an upcharge. It's automating lead conversion for you. So anyway, that's Facebook ads. We also do free social media posts. Remember when I said, hey, let's do the setup, let's do the wizard and connect your socials. We auto post Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google. Then here is the nearby homeowner letter. Remember I showed this to you earlier and I said, this is the open house. This is why open house is so important. The Facebook ad actually lets the buyers know. A lot more buyers see that, right? And some sellers see it. But when you print this out 100 times or 50 times and you give it in the neighborhood, especially if you have a listing in a home where you want more listings, and I can tell you in Danville, you definitely want more listings. Well, that's the thing you got to do. Okay. Now, we do have an e-flyer for your database. This means copy this email and blast it out on your leads in your own CRM, right? Oh, this looks short. I think, oh, there it goes. 1, 2, 3 links are going to go create buyer leads for me. If I keep scrolling down, 1, 2, 3 lists can get up and click copy for follow-up boss or copy for your CRM, and just you're taking it and you go over to your website and or your CRM and you blast it out. Now, like I said, we do create single property west and we do create virtual tours, and we also put those virtual tours on YouTube automatically. But when it comes to an open house, we also have an open house sign-in form. And if you've got a laptop with Wi-Fi, when people walk through, say, hey, we'd really love to get your feedback. Would you mind answering these questions? Leave us your email on the next page, and I will send you a single property website on this home with all the details on this home. So that's a good way, and instead of asking people to sign up on a notebook, fill it out there, right? The homeowner, the face PDF guides, and I said each of you branded on every page. They're all about, now they're 40 for home buyers, okay? So you want to go in and pick the ones that are most relevant to your business and get the flyers for those. And I'll show you what I mean. So here are all my PDF guides. 5 dangers of overpricing. Click marketing tools. You can click marketing tools under. Give it a second. That there's a print flyer, and you can print this flyer, right? Now I have one printed up here. So let's look at it. Looks like this. So let's think of what I've been saying here. We want you to run it out on Facebook for an open house, get the nearby homeowner and invite 50 or 100 homeowners, and then print 5 or 6 of these and go over to Office Depot or Amazon and buy yourself the tabletop acrylic stand and pop one of these in the laundry room and put a different one in the master bedroom and put a different one in the living room and the dining room. So as they're walking through, as these homeowners are walking through, they are recognizing you are the realtor at that office. This is why open houses can become so valuable to our clients. Okay. It's that you're using it to showcase your value. Right. Now over here, I'm clicking on media library and there's even something cooler than that. So if you remember, Lorraine, I don't know why you're sending me your email, but thank you. You can email me at vince@listings2leads if you need something. But over here, I'm on media library and I want you all to get familiar with this. It says 100 plus marketing plan. And this is a video. It's the beginning of the call, the flipbook listing presentation, the online magazine version. I also showed you the print version, which again, I'm holding in my hands, which you can have for FISBOs or just, it's got some really groovy music, but you don't need to play the music. But if you're having an open house and you invited 50 or 100 homeowners into that open house, you should probably have this playing on the smart TV. Okay. This is our listing presentation in a televised commercial kind of aspect. And you've got this on a 60 or 80-inch TV. This tells how you sell a home. It doesn't mention that Facebook or that listings to leads is doing half of this for you automatically. It just says, this is how I'm doing it. This is how I do it. And I can tell you, this is different from probably 99% of the realtors in the country. If they can do this, they probably can not doing it automatically, right? But this is what we do automatically for you. So hold an open house, run the Facebook ad, get the buyers in, use the nearby homeowner letter to get the neighbors in who are thinking of selling, and use our tools to market to start more conversations with homeowners. Okay. So what I've been talking about so far, again, to repeat, is open houses and expireds are like our top ways of getting more listings. If you want to run ads on, or if you want to use email, you're going to capture leads. And I want everybody to think about this, because if you're on this call with me today, you are interested in growing your business, right? That's the whole reason why you're here. You're new to us, you're onboarding. And I want to make it real clear for all of you. When you capture a lead, whether it's from Facebook or whether it's from Google, or whether it's from an email that you copied and blasted out to your CRM, or you created one of our just sold postcards, whatever, if it's print, if you captured a lead, you have to convert that lead. I'm going to create a capturing seller leads. Very easy. Name, email, and phone number. But when you capture a lead, you have to convert a lead. And if anybody would like to put in their conversion rate on the chat panel here of all their leads, I would love to see it. Because when it comes to online leads, the conversion rate that I hear from our clients is between 1% and 5%. Okay. But that's just the total volume of the leads that you're converting. A more important question I think you all should ask yourself is, how long does it take to convert those leads, right? Is it 2 hours? Is it 2 weeks? Is it 2 months? Or is it 2 years or even longer? Because that is the reality of capturing leads from wherever you capture them. Some leads take longer. Some are higher quality leads. You run an ad on Google. Those are higher quality leads than Facebook leads. Okay. They are 2 to 3 times more expensive as well. So when you can afford it, you want to do it. But a lot of our clients can build their brand with Facebook leads and convert them. They do need to be really good. They need to have some systems and software to help them convert. They're not going to convert leads by calling them and being awesome right off the bat. That's just not what's happening. But here's what I'm telling you that. When you are doing expired marketing and you're calling them or you're door knocking or you're texting them, you are reaching to one person who wanted to sell their home but couldn't, whatever reason. Okay. And if you watch those videos that I was showing you, you're going to realize that they are converting these leads in hours and days, maybe weeks. They are not month-long stories here. Those are people that wanted to sell. This little pamphlet helps. Also, the online listing presentation that you can text directly to that person helps. Yeah. So Jose's saying online leads 1%. That's a normal number. I'm glad you're doing that, because honestly, Jose, there are a lot of people in real estate and probably on this call that generate leads and do not convert even 1%. And it's because there is no system there. Okay. We have some really great tools to help you do that, right? We have really great tools to help you do that. And you can get on our training classes to help you with that. Right. But this one, I want to just point out, this says, create an ad. No, we're going to name you a phone number. I'm not going to show you that again. Home was sold. That affects your home value. Click here for your home value. Right. That's it. Now you can capture that lead. You can make sure that they got that home value. And if they didn't, you can help them get the home value because you got the tools to do that. And then you can go say, hey, now that we have your address and we have your name and email, let me create in the back end a custom listing presentation for them. And that's going to help you convert seller leads. I'm going to go back to this one here. So I have a listing presentation for this home. You can create this like in just a couple minutes, right? I have one here for a home in St. Paul. And you might be talking, I don't know where you get your leads, right? But I actually am talking to a lot of agents, and some people have been paying for leads, seller lead, and they're like, I'm just not converting, right? I told them, like, if you got some really hot ones that you actually want, create a custom listing presentation like I've done here. Put the name of the homeowner right on front. You got that on your Facebook lead, and then you texted them to make sure you got their address, put it in there as well, and then get a picture of their home and just pop it in this and text this over to them. They're going to want to talk. Okay. But also, without going even that far, if you are sitting on seller leads inside of your CRM somewhere, or maybe you got them in a spreadsheet or just in your mailbox, you need to go here. If you don't want to go through the extra work of creating a custom one, go to listing presentation here and open this listing presentation. And you can actually, it says listing presentation, copying the web address to that page and take it right over to your CRM and blast it on your leads. We had a client do that, I think, in early December. And he said, I've got this CRM. It's got all kinds of leads. And I took 200 of those leads, just 200. And I took this hyperlink at the top of your flipbook, which every one of you has in your account already, and just sent this and just wrote a couple lines like, hey, are you thinking of selling in 2026? I have a really powerful way of doing that and getting you top dollar. Please click this link and go look at that. From that email, he has 17 conversations with 17 homeowners. If you're sitting on seller leads somewhere, please try that. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's already sitting in your account. Copy the URL. And anytime you get a seller lead, if you got old ones, get this in front of them. But if you're getting new ones and you definitely want to convert that, right? It might be a special home in a great neighborhood. Think about creating a custom one. So let's see, how do we do that? We're on the listings page. We click add listing and we click manual. Okay. Manually adding a listing. And when you do this, when you come here, typically the setting right here, status is just listed because that's when clients typically do this. But if I do listing presentation up here, or if I do expired, canceled, or FSBO down here, it's going to have the same functionality. I'm going to click on listing presentation. And now it says, what's the seller's name? And what's their address? And save and add one photograph. That's it. That's all you have to do. You go to listings. I'm on the listings page. You click add listing. This is if you're doing a custom one. You do manual. And no, it's giving me a hiccup. Yeah. You do manual, and then that's usually going to, now it's listing presentation. But you want to make sure you got the right status here. Put in the name, put in the address only. Don't worry about anything else. Add one photograph and save it. And that's it. That's how you make a custom one. If you want, you can again email me at Vince@listings to leads. And I've got a 4-minute video shows you how to do that. Okay. But it's actually very easy. You just need to know, you go to the listings page and you have one. And I can tell you, I had an agent down in Florida, like in Hollywood, and he saw this beautiful home, waterfront home, cancel, right? Cancel. And he called him. He says, "Hey, I just saw that your home was canceled. What happened?" And he goes, "I had it with this realtor at Sotheby's. He wasn't doing anything to market my home. He wasn't doing anything. I just pulled it, getting no buyers. Just." And he said, "I have a really great way of doing this. Can I meet you?" And he said, "Sure, come by." So what do? We created a listing presentation with his home. It was really cool. He had like the backyard had a dock and there was like the waterways. So we just took that back picture of the home, put it on there. And so it replaced our generic listing presentation with this beautiful picture of the guy's home from the back and the dock. Right. And he closed 2 listings with that one presentation. The guy actually owned 2 homes. So if you have seller leads, get involved with our listing presentation. If you need seller leads, get involved with our expired and open house marketing. Okay. And when you need buyer leads, or if you need to build your brand, run ads on Facebook. And if you want seller leads, you can also run Facebook ads and do that too. Now, we do have Google ad software. And as I said, you can run ads in just a couple clicks there. And that's awesome. Price your leads. And since, let me know if you have questions. I'm going to show you something. I typically go into the deep talking about Facebook ads here, but when you run an ad, it's going to be right here. And you can see this CPL is something you want to learn what that is. Cost per lead. Okay. CPL means cost per lead, $2.12. It's funny. I talked to a lot of realtors and they're spending a lot of money on leads, and Zillow flexes, they're increasing the cost, and agents are like, "We are just not getting the ROI there. We want to talk to you because we understand you can get lower cost lead." We have clients getting seller leads on average for $7 each, but also $4 and $5 and $6 each with name, email, and phone number. And they may not be as vetted and high quality, but you're building a database of people interested in selling at a very low cost. When you're running an ad on a home that's for sale, like open house or just listed, and you spent $50, your business page is being seen like probably 2,000 times, right? I'm going to run an ad here on a home that is just for sale. I click create ad. We really, for anybody, right? You can see it's easy. You click that button, boom, it's going to get it. But you see how it says sponsored by my business page? That's going to be sponsored by your business page. That's going to be seen thousands of times every week. If you're a brand new rookie and you don't have a big budget, I honestly think this is one of the top things you can do, because let's say you ran one $50 ad, right? That's $200 a month. Your business page would be seen somewhere from 5,000 to 8,000 times, sponsored by your business page. Because when you're a new agent, who even knows that you're a realtor, right? Aside from a handful of your friends and family. Sphere of influence only goes so far, and I'm sure you all know that, right? Tamara, who's on the call here, been with us for, I don't know, how many years have you been with us? How many agents are you competing with, Tamara? For most of you, you're competing against 5, 20, even 30, 40,000 agents. Who knows you are a realtor? Are you on page 1 of Google? Probably not. But if you're running an ad, thousands of people are going to see that. If you're running 2 or 4 ads, 1 or 2 a week, thousands of people are going to see you. Oh, you were inactive. Okay. No, don't worry. I don't know. There are a lot of coaches that talk about us. And one of those guys, he's actually / coach, more of an agent, named Shannon Pyatt from the East Coast. And he had usually a lot of listings, like 4 or 5 at a time. And he would be running 4 to 5 ads every week on Facebook. And he told us, people just call me because they know I'm the realtor, because I run ads every time. And every time they log in, my ad's showing somewhere. That's true advertising. And that's true brand identity, right? Brand awareness. Most of you don't have that. I know, there are a lot of ways to build brand. You can put a sign on a bus. You can buy a sign billboard. You can even wear a sandwich board and walk around your neighborhood. But I know you don't want to do that. In a couple clicks, you can be running ads that thousands of people are going to see while you're collecting leads. So Facebook is super important. Google, I mentioned over here, social content. We can take your Google business page and get it on page 1 of Google. on a real estate search. Because you got to ask yourself, I'm sure most of you have, and let me ask, most of you have a website. Is there anybody here who does not have a website? Who's here? And the reason why I ask is, again, you're competing with thousands of agents, all of you. If somebody types in real estate in your market by you, does your website even get close to page one? Or is Zillow and Realtor.com on top and the other big teams outranking you? That's probably what's going on. And you might be on page 5 or 10, which means you really don't even need a website. Okay. Because nobody's going that far on a search. They might make it page 3 and they're off because they found some website that's going to help them out. So if you have Google Business and you go here and you add our social content right here, which is all content, our clients are getting to page 1 of Google in just a few months. Okay. And if you remember in our mastermind group, Scott just put something related to recommend you all check out. Right. So he just put it here over the weekend. And I definitely want to check it out because it's something that we definitely want all of our clients to understand right here. You should check this out because SEO is important. In case you don't know this, Google.com is the #1 website in the United States and in the world, I think, because 86% of all questions are asked here. So if you're not even competitive here, you need to think about that. And Google Business, which I think is a free little app. It's kind of like a little web store, web page. To get that on page 1 of somebody coming to Google to ask a real estate question would be in your interest. So go check this out here and check out what that is. I will, of course. And make sure that you go to social content and turn on a bunch of these and tell us to post 5 days a week over here and connect your socials, especially Instagram, especially Facebook, and especially Google Business. Okay. Because you can rank on page 1 on Google if you do those 2 things, set up Google My Business and have our content refresh there constantly. That's going to be a long-term play for you. Okay. Any other questions? That's the story of me yammering on for a while. One thing I didn't mention, Owen touched on it. 2 things, follow-ups. And I asked a question, but I didn't get an answer. If you don't have a website, guess what? We created one for you. Okay. And if you go to listings and you go to more tools and you go to agent website, you are going to see that tool right here. Okay. So listings, more tools, agent website, view. This looks a lot like the one I showed you earlier, which was for reviews, but this is for your listings. And you can see here, it's got your branding on it. It's got all your listings, even if they're sold. If I click through here, I'm going to land on single property websites and guess what? Become a lead. Here are our PDF guides that we branded for you that people can download for free as long as they answer a couple of questions. And they can even get their home value. And and here are your reviews. Here's our listing presentation. Again, you can even snap in your IDX from your MLS. This is free part of the system. I would not, if you don't have a website, use this one. And if you need help getting that IDX, email me at Vincent Listings to Leads. Most MLSs give that to you for free. I'm going to give everybody my email address now. Again, if you need a team account, right, or a brokerage account, email me and let me know. I'll help you with that. But if you don't have a website, I really don't recommend even burning money on that because you can spend well over $100 a month. And unfortunately, nobody's going to find it, right? Dress Tamara, the Rockstar Realtor, and point it to this. And then when you put that on your business card, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know if you can embed Calendly there. That's right. Yeah, it's a good question. So right over here, this is where you customize it. Current listings. There is a place to do that. I think you add section or you embed code. Yeah, you embed code. And yeah, you can snap Calendly in there. Again, you don't want to be, I know realtors, they spend a lot of money on things that honestly just don't give a return. This is just a free part of our system. I definitely recommend using. All right. I don't see any more questions. Thank you so much for being here today. This call is being recorded and it will be right over here on our YouTube channel. So I can hang out here for a couple more. Oh, actually, I have another call, so I can't hang out. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. We have a terrific support team. Get in our expired workshops. It's just working for everybody. Have a great day, everybody.